Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Welcome to the Mystical's Corner. This space is created to empower you into reclaiming your voice, rise in your power, and walk and operate in this most beautiful experience as your most authentic self. What's up, y'all? My name is Kayla, and I am a girl who just loves to talk about all things spirituality. And this is why I've created this space. It is for my fulfillment. And if this is something that you resonate with, or you like to discuss, or even just offer perspectives and being open to them, share them here and subscribe and stay a while. Stay a while. So today I am holding my mic. Usually I try to find a place on myself to put it, but I didn't want to wrestle with that today. So I have chosen what I was gonna how I was gonna let this whole mic thing do, but it's no problem. So, y'all, I hope that you're all in a beautiful space today. I hope that you recognize the season that you're in and that you are aligning accordingly. Okay. Okay. So, bringing that into today's topic is all about sacred devotion. And that is a layered like topic, but we can bring it in to just find a easy sense of clarity around this and how you may be able to apply this type of philosophy to your life. Okay, so going into sacred devotion, and the tagline with that is living in alignment. All right, and I love that we got living in alignment because it's a practice. Everything that you've learned about your life and the choices that you've made, it is a consistent practice. And we're going to make mistakes. We're going to choose something that does not serve us well all the time. We're not doing that all the time, but we will choose things in order to learn what doesn't serve us well, right? Let me get that corrected because words are power, okay? So, living in alignment and understanding that it is a practice in it being that and nothing more. Okay. It's not about perfection. Practice, okay? Just practice. And so, going into our intention for today, and as you all know, if you've been here for a little while, I have my notes, okay? So today's intention is we will explore the meaning of sacred devotion and how it deepens the meaning of why we exist. Okay. And I'm going to talk about it in the way that I've developed this perspective. And hopefully, this is something you resonate with or can learn something from or benefit from it in some shape or form. But if not, let it fly, sis. Okay. Let it fly. All right. So let's just get right into it. What do you think of when you hear the words sacred devotion? What do you what do you think of when you hear the word sacred devotion? What do you think of when you hear just the word devotion? I can go back to a memory that I had, and I will just say this. Initially, my first thought when it came to the word devotion is I think about church, or I think about God and how I would devote myself to this way of being, this way of living, or this being. And I've learned to shift that a little bit to where I can meet with this way of living more often than just going to church on Sunday and or just talking to God when things were not well for me. Um so we'll break down the meaning. Devotion is a deep love or loyalty, commitment to something or someone, right? And it's about consistency. Now, sacred, when I think of that word, it makes me think of reverence. Okay, a certain type of respect to something. So what I've written here, sacred devotion is rooted in reverence to spirit, to God, to the all most high, to the divine flow within your life. Okay, and I want to kind of start this. I want to get into it the conversation from this angle. Think about what brings you joy. What in your current life brings you joy? When you have a tough time experiencing joy or figuring out what brings you joy, and if you can't see it or witness it in your life, I just want to invite you to really take a pause and reflect on your life and all that you've created, your career, the foundation in which you live your life on, like your beliefs, your faith, how you're in alignment with that. Think about the family you've created. Do you have a spouse? Do you have children? And within all of that you created, do you witness and experience joy? Joy is a heart posture. And I had to learn that last year. Um Last year I had this awakening in life where a consciousness had woken up and I realized I was oppressed. I looked at my life and I was like, how did we get here? How did we get here? And over time, I deeply learned that I had guilted myself into doing things way too soon or doing things when I was not in the mind space or in the financial space to, really steward these things properly. And a reverence came over my life during that season for all that I have created. Because for myself, when I got too involved in the identities that I've aligned myself with and didn't prioritize myself, resentment started to fall in because I became a person who met the needs of others and I was not meeting my needs. And I could not see the joy in that. I could not feel the joy in that. And I did not know where joy was at that time because I'm like, this is a space I would not have chosen to be in if I was in my consciousness. You know what I mean? And so I invite you to really take a look at your life and do you experience joy? Do you see joy? Do you feel joy with what your reality is? From a holistic angle, from community to initial family to how you feel about yourself. Because let me tell you something, I could not experience joy for real until I dug within myself. And the only way that it took me to create the life that I'm living right now was to find joy in myself and to take a look at the person I was making decisions and creating my life from, I would say, an unconscious place. And I wouldn't even say I was unconscious. Of course I made these choices, but the reverence in which I needed to steward my life was it wasn't there. It was not there. So going back to, I wrote down that joy is a heart posture. No one can give it to you. You have to notice it within in order to witness it in your life. And so sacred devotion is a practice of gratitude. And so now, from what I told you, I had to shift my perspective on guilt tripping myself or being ashamed for financial difficulties during certain times of my life. I had to shift from that mindset, but that took me on a deep healing towards myself. I know if I wanted to say to or towards, but I had to take a really deep look into myself and why I feel this way and what can I do to heal this, because I know that I'm here for a reason. Like, this is the awareness increasing in me. I'm like, I know I'm here for a reason. I know I'm not supposed to, leave or blah, 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 blah. It just really caused me to take responsibility for my life. And if I know that the most high in me wants to steward this in a way to where I truly respect this, then I have to figure out what I need to do to shift. And one day, after doing the work and being in flow with the presence of the Most High and just flowing with my life and being present for my life, I woke up with all of my needs met one day. I woke up with not a need that I needed to pursue. And there was a different type of freedom. There was a freedom that you cannot see. There's a freedom that you can only experience, and that I can witness in myself. And so I'm like, wow, it truly made me want to devote myself to every part of my life that I can, right? And that is just really taking care of my holistic self first. Really being devoted to my well-being from a holistic place. And that's even layered, because let me tell you, if I ever get you in a conversation and we talking about just really the fullness of the most high, the fullness of just experiencing all of myself with no shame, no guilt, um and then I devote myself to my family because I created them. My perception of them, not that I created them, but I made the choice to get married. I made the choice to have kids. I made the choice to get a puppy. I made the choice to create a more. So I take that as a sacred devotion. I deeply respect that I have all of my needs met. So I made the choice to sacredly devote myself to my life, to myself first, because as I nurture myself, I'm nurturing the relationship that I have with the most high, so that I may show up in my reality, my world, my life, ready to devote myself to them, while expecting life challenges to happen, because that is a part of the experience. And this is why I have my notes. But that goes back to, where in your life can you take reverence to what you have created? Is it your children? But let me just go and do this. It's always going to be you first. Are you pouring into yourself in a way to where it's sacred? It's important to you. Okay, we had a camera malfunction, so we are back. But I'm going to go ahead and land the plane since we are here. And I was in a great flow. But anyway, we're going to land the plane right here. I had jotted down this note. Be curious about your life. Okay. Be curious about your life. Question everything. How can you change the narrative if you need to? If there's something about your circumstances, if there's something about your life that you are challenged with, how can curiosity lead you to a place of healing it? How can you sacredly devote to your life in a way to where you can change the narrative? Because you can. What can you create that is good and fulfilling for you? Those type of energy, that energy returns 100-fold. Any energy do, but you want to be intentional about the energy that you put into your work, that you put into your life, because you will abundantly receive it in whatever shape, form, or fashion it is. Okay. Don't allow what you see to confuse you. Sometimes you expect to see joy onto some people. You expect that joy looks like this big house. Joy is a feeling. It's a peace. It's a harmonious experience that you get to have with the Most High, with the all of what you are experiencing in your life. The Most High is not one thing. If you can look at your life and create it to where you're receiving abundant, beautiful energy because of your devotion, then why not? Okay, then why not? All right, bring to life what already exists. Your joy is in your life. You just have to probably dig a little deeper within you to find the joy within, to see it out into your reality. All right. All right. How can you create? No, how can you honor what already exists within you in the life you are creating? It goes back to your joy is already there. Your joy, just break down the barriers that's standing between you and it. All right. So, 2 journal prompts.